Right. Let's do problem of the day question. Minimum pair removal. 35350 minimum pair removal to short array given an array nums you can perform. Second. Right. Now you can see minimum pair removal. That's the question. If you are given an array nums, you can perform the following operations by number of times. Select the adjacent pair with the minimum sum in nums if multiple pair exists. Replace the pair. Return the minimum number of operations needed to make the array non-decreasing. K. An array is said to be non-decreasing if each element is greater than or equal to its previous element, if it exists. It shows this input 5231 and output is 2 because the pair 31 has the minimum sum of 4. And after replacement, nums 5 to 4 and the power 2 4 is the minimum sum of 6 after replacement of 5 6. Okay. Constraint and nums 50. Like how you put this control function of a. This question 5 to 3 1, right? Take unsorted array. अब इसका फाइन निकालना एडजेसेंट पेयर with the minimum sum. The smallest pair is 3 1. Yes. we have to find adjacent pairs. Adjacent pair निकालना with minimum sum. One second. With minimum sum, right? So the like smallest of the smallest pair है. Firstly, we have to अब ये जो स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर है, राइट? अब हमें निकालना पड़ेगा स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर की कैसे क्या क्या करना होता है, राइट? अब इसको निकालेंगे कैसे? कि लाइक आफ्टर दैट हाउ हाउ विल ही लाइक I can't one second, right? Like this the smallest निकालना पड़ेगा. राइट. अब यार ये जो स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर इन्हें देना है, इसको देना कैसे होगा? अब जैसे स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर है, सेकेंड अब लाइक how we do like smallest pair and 5231, right? और इसको स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर निकालना है, तो अब ये इसका स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर निकलेगा कैसे, राइट? सो लाइक if we do the smallest pair, right? अब ये जो smallest pair है, right? So smallest pair 3, smallest pair तो हो गया 3 1, right? smallest pair 3 1 हो गया, right? और then we do like merge sort करना फिर इसके बाद, है ना? तो मर्ज कैसे करेंगे? मर्ज में करेंगे like array after replacing pair 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, right? तो आफ्टर रिप्लेस कर देंगे, आफ्टर रिप्लेसिंग पेयर, राइट? तो 3 plus 1 इज इक्वल्स टू 4 हो जाएगा, राइट? एंड मर्ज स्टेप 2 करेंगे 5 टू लाइक मर्ज स्टेप में 5 टू 4, राइट? मर्ज में 5 टू 4 है जो, राइट? तो स्टेप 2 में लाइक मर्ज नेक्स्ट स्मॉलेस्ट पेयर और फाइनल नॉन डिक्रीजिंग एरे. सो मर्ज स्टेप में लाइक 5 टू 4, राइट? एंड नॉन डिक्रीजिंग में 5 एंड 6 हो जाएगा, राइट? So how do we like intuition like the our goal is to make the array non-decreasing, right? Non-decreasing and using the minimum number of operation. Okay, so like like so like in one operation we can remove a one adjacent pair and replace it with their sum. So we will also like greedy strategy works here, right? If like if the array is already sorted, so no operation needed, right? Otherwise we have to do to pair like the best pair to remove is the adjacent pair with the smallest sum, and then like removing a small sum causes the least disruption to the array orders, right? अगर ये array order कर दिया, so हाँ, अब इसका array order कर दिया, otherwise 1 second, right? Hmm. Okay, now it is good. Like अब जो मैंने removal small sum causes the least disruption, right, to the array's order, but this increases the chance that the array becomes sorted faster, right? So like how we will approach? Firstly, like we initialize a counter like answer to track the number of operation, right? And then we do like while the array is not sorted, so scan the array to find the adjacent pairs with the minimum sum, and then we replace the first element of the pair with the sum, right? And then shift the remaining element to remove the second element of the pair, and then decrease the effective array size, and then decrement in the operation counter, right? But if the once the array is sorted, then return answer. Okay, the time complexity big O n हो जाएगी, big O n square, right? Let's do the code, right? Let's see it's running or not. I think I have to bigger the code. I think you have to see clearly, right? So into they have to, तो पहले हमें sorted में डालना पड़ेगा ना. So private private boolean is sorted int nums and int n हो जाएगा. int n में हो जाएगा, right? So for like loop लगा देंगे for int I is equal to 1, I greater than and I increment, right? Then if nums I ले लेंगे और एक nums I minus 1 ले लेंगे, then return false, right? If nums I, then nums I minus 1, okay, and then we do return false, otherwise return true. And this is like the like minimum pairs, right? Minimum pair interval का होगा, right? So we have to give to like two int answer इंट आंसर हो गया 0 ले लेते हैं राइट। और एक एन नम्स डॉट लेंथ है, नम्स लेंथ का दे दें nums length okay, and then we have sorted while is it not sorted or is sorted right. So while is sorted nums and right, nums और n हो गया। if अगर ये nums sorted है right, nums n का sorted है otherwise right, so आंसर अरे आंसर अगर 1 हो जाएगा राइट, इंट और इंट इंट मिन सम कर देते हैं इंटीजर मैक्स वैल्यू के लिए राइट। मिन सम इज इक्वल टू इंटीजर डॉट मैक्स वैल्यू राइट, and positive is like -1, and then we do make a loop right. So for int I is equal to 1, I less than n, I increment right. So int sum is equal to nums I minus 1 and nums I कर देते हैं right. if like sum अगर less than min sum से right, so min sum is like so sum, then we do like was equal to I right. After that like positive I हो गया। अब num so like हम num I minus 1 कर हम करते हैं nums positive minus 1 is equal to min sum कर देते हैं right. So we have to loop again for int I is equal to positive I less than minus 1 and I increment right. I increment हो गया, so nums I है equals to nums I plus 1 right, and then we also do n decrement, then we do return answer. Let's see, it is running, error is happen, min sum for like if int min sum is like okay, we have to spelling mistake. Let's see, now it is accepted right guys. And now GFG right, We have to do GFG. Sum of subarrays, right? How can we do like sum of subarray ranges given an integer array? The range of subarray is defined as the difference between its largest and smallest element within that subarray, and our task is to return the sum of the ranges of all possible subarray in the array. Note it is guaranteed that the result will fit within 32 integers. अब ये array 1 2 3 है, output 4 है. अच्छा, 1 2 3 और output 4 है, तो last 6 subarray और the like one range है. 6 subarray the one range largest minus smallest. The second also largest minus smallest 2 minus 2. Then here we go 1 2, the range largest minus smallest 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Okay. How we like we have to do one introduction, right? प्रॉब्लम ना दे सॉल्यूशन कैसे करूं? स्टैक यूज कर लो. यार स्टैक यूज करना तो एम्प्टी और पीक वाला करना पड़ेगा. देन वी डू पॉप. How we do like how can we do like after the home, right? Mm, so let's suppose like integer n is equal to array dot length ले लेते हैं, right? array ले लिया, और max ले लेते हैं. max is equal to some array max array and n, right? And long min sum And like after what can we do? Sum हो गया. Sum sub array min array n ले लेते हैं array और एक n ले लेते हैं natural right. into the maxsum minus minsum, right? And after that, like return into we have to do, and then we do like private long some sub array till int array हो गया int n हो गया, right? Long sum is equal to 0 int left. Oh, new int right. Let's do the like pro codes of contest करते हैं आज का. Right. After that codes of contest करने के बाद contest rating right. Okay. leave one करके देख. So there was a five question, right? Non-scoreable booked. Okay. There's sorting prefixes. Uh, sorting prefixes. Like the question sorting prefix, like you are given an array A, which is a permutation of integer 1 and n. Okay, the question is sorting prefixes, which is permutation of integer 1 to n. So, 1 to sort the our task is sort the array using the following operations. How can we like it's not not input format where the first line of input contains a single integer t and denoting the number of test cases. Each test case consists of multiple lines of input. Multiple lines of input. Okay. And each test consists of multiple lines. First line contains a single integer and the second line contains integer and as a1, a2. So an and for each test case is output on a new line the minimum cost sort of the array. Here comes now you have to mm, क्या है इसको sort देखो we're doing in C++ or in Java, right? So like array is already sources, so cost 0 है. So sorting up we put all numbers right in correct order, right? So since the array is positive of 1 and n, so the final sorted array must be 1 to n, right? Let's do the code, right? So then over main so send not die integer ले लेते हैं vector and ले लिया, right? ये ले लिया, right? So 4 like loop of 4 and die is equal to 0. Um, and send max like int max ही ले लेते हैं is equal to 0 in bad prefix and right, and bad prefix अगर हम ले रहे हैं, right? So after that like uh, like mad prefix और acing ये तो लिया, maxing को -1 है, acing minus 1. So let's loop. Then we loop for int I is equal to 0. Right, is equal to max if max in equals to I plus 1 add the prefix and equal to I. If bad prefix I -1 कर देते हैं. Right, minus -1, then we do count else count prefix and so we have to return 0. Think it we have to run the code. Error is showing 35. Okay, 35, 20. 35, 20 and 23. 35 में 23, right? Max in is equal to AI ले गया max को max in, right? Let's see. 20, 20 or 32. 32. A bad prefix and yeah, 32 तो थी. 20 और 20, 20 को देखते हैं. 20 is like and 25, 29. फोर्ड लगा दिया तो ये इंट कहाँ से आएगा भाई ये. Let's see. 29. So yeah, right. Mm, okay. Wrong answer. Wrong answer on Codechef. Uh, mm, let's see. Intimate acing data falls earlier. Better event than general vector and endless again. Or like or end I to one and I plus. Okay, one over right and element k is related to k is equal to 0 out 0. Hmm. Let's see. It was 0. Okay. Now you can see submit. Right, ये तो हो गया. The question shall up to 10. There are n days, and the sell price of a watch on the 8th date is AI. Initially, you have 0 watches for each day from 1 to n. The following events happen. First, you acquire 1 watch for free 1 day, and next, you have choose to tell the seller to 10 watches that you own AI coins each. What is the maximum profit you can obtain by optimally selling it? Okay, selling items open and कितना obtain करना maximum profit था ना उसका maximum profit होता input format the input constant T 100 like uh, I mean here we would click 2 watches here like for each day 1 to n each day happen right so for each day just goes to 1 to n happen right the event that we get a watch we get a free watch and the next event after this we want right we can sell after that at most 2 watches at the price. We basically understand this that if we look at it like this so let's say if I had W number of watches if I right on the day on the start of the day right after the first event one I will have W plus 1 watches and after this in event 2 what I can do I will have 3 different scenarios either I could have choose to not to sell any watches so in the case I will still have W plus 1 watches in the case where I just sell 1 watches in the cast I have W watches and in the cases where I don't sell any in the case where I sell 2 watches so I will have W minus 1 watches and in the case I will have like AI cons extra in this case so I will have 2 So that is the problem. So basically on the ith day I have W watches. Then first of all I will get up free watches. It will become I can choose to not to sell on the day, right? So like the next day I will go up to W plus one watches, or I can choose to sell one watch on that day. So on the next day I will go from with W watches plus I will go get a money, and if I choose to sell two watches, then on the next day I will go and I will get W minus one watches and two into next AI coins. So that is a problem, right? And if the test case is like 1 to 3, so like on the first day I get one watch, right? And then we do like obviously I think I will I will obviously not sell any coin, any watches on this day because the price is so low. So I will get a better offers on the next day and the day after the. So what I can do is retain the watches, and on the next day my watch will become two since I will get another free watch on the next day. And now I have the option to sell watches. So if I don't sell watches, I will go to the next day and three watches, and having three watches is not good because like then I have to waste one watch because at max I can sell two at this index, right? So I will be wasting one watch, and also so basically I will do I sell one watches here to get a plus two coin, and then on the next day I will have another free watch, and then my total watches will become two. On the day one I choose this like on the day two I choose like a watch A plus I in the day two, right? And then I'm selling my watches with the highest at the highest price. So then I will have a plus six coin, and I will go on the next day with zero watches. So on the day three I am performing this operation, and since the total number of coins I will get is 8 coins, right? So we can do is like the constraint that telling me like the maximum number of coins that we will have on any particular day is 100, right? Because you can acquire only one watch, only one free watch on each day, so the maximum number of watches would be 100. And since we have three different events that can happen on each day, so what we can do is we can use this event to write some kind of DP. So like since these events will work as a transition between states, so like suppose we have I had C and I had W watches, and on the I plus one day what are the possible different outcomes? So I might have W watches, oh sorry, so W plus one watches, or I might have W watches only, but extra AI coins, or I might have W minus one watches plus extra two AI coins. And since there are end days, so I will be less than or equal to, once again, and since at max we will have n watches because each day we will get one free watch. So W will also be less than and equal to n. So the total number of states in this DP, the total number of different states would be n square, right? And each state depends on only three other states. So right, so our total time complexity will be, so there is formula for like time complexity of DP number of states, right? Into transition average, a transition per state. Okay. Since there are three average transition per state, so overall time complexity would be n square into 3, right? And there is time limit. So basically, that these problems that require DP as a solution. So you can, so like they can do from the constant, right? Because there is lot of hint in the constant. So we have to go to the DP solution, right? So but it works a lot of cases and also some question, right? Where you do any kind of greedy approach working. So like the constraint you see are like are small enough for like DP. How to we approach this question to solve, right? We have to find the answer for test cases for W since we want the maximum coin for each test, right? So I the answer for the cases we would have a maximum of three different states. I plus one, just a second. I plus one कर दें और I plus one W plus A और W minus one plus 2A. So basically this means that we represent the number of coins we will get if on the I plus one day I have W plus one coins, and then the number of points I will get if on the day I plus one I have W plus one watches, right? And since I sold therefore 2 into AI extra coins, and since I already sold one watch, so AI extra coin, and so for each DP we require a base case, right? And so like I can see that from that we are moving towards I plus 1, and so in the end we will be reaching I equal to n. So must write our base case as I equal to n. So what we can do is if I is equal to n, so we can just simply return 0 because we cannot sell any more watches. Now since we have already y equal to n, right? N plus 1 0 coins. If I equal to and then return 0, right? And for all the other cases, we can take a maximum of these two and also the watches. And the count of watches must never go negative. So for this particular transition, and also we need to add an if statement. So we can run this transition when w is greater than 0. Otherwise w is equal to 0, then w minus 1 will become negative, and that is not possible. So we cannot have a negative number of watches. So w must be positive for this particular transition. And overall time velocity is like v1 square, right? v1 square. So this question and answer is simply in the state 0, 0. Since the 0 day we start with 0 watches. Actually on the first day we start with 0 watches. So right. So we're doing the code right. Hmm, I don't know. right? So like hmm, तो मोड नहीं आ रहा. Like define int long, right? And one int and vector, and I have like integer n is equal to a dot size. Mm, if equal to n, right, टर्न जीरो कर देता हूँ. dp client -1, right? टर्न कर दिया. तो नॉट टेक में like if I done this not take में, so in x is equal to plus 1, and then we like in take 1 and y is equals to a and plus 1 plus 1. Okay, plus 1 में कर दिया. So a भी करना पड़ेगा. I have जो लिया था dp. Then we do take 2 watches one. So if I have plus 1 to write, so like z was 2 into a oh, यार ये कहाँ लिख दिया है. टर्म्स जो हो गया. Z goes to into a in BP. Okay. Return BP and is equal to like max हो जाएगा ना. Max में क्या करेगा x y z z है. int नया साइन है. int t y int n हो गया. sin int I is equals to 0. I one second guys. I is equal to 0 होगा. I and vector and in dp n plus 1 vector n plus 1 minus 1. Then we do like transfer is equals to 1. 0 हो जाएगा, a हो जाएगा and 0. This is all the watches, right? Then we do the return, right? So the answer, let's see, 1919. Firstly you have to 19. Z is equal to 2 into a and plus then right x to 1. Then let's see now. Z is equal, oh my goodness, Z is smaller, huh? Let's see. to copy the code, right? Why it is not deleting? It's so frustrating. Alright, now to run the code. This is the only, so I put the submit that, submit the coding, right? Hmm. Ascents and descents. Like for a permutation queue, 1 to n with a unique inverse permutation. Unique permutation of P is QPI equal to I, and define FP then minus 1 PI less than PI plus 1, okay, and minus summation y and minus 1 I is equal to 1, QI greater than QI plus 1, okay, then we have to where x is 1 if x is true, otherwise 0. So is the sum of number of ascents in P and descents in Q. Let me think, guys. Hmm, how can we like to search डिसेंट्स में आ करेंगे कैसे? Hmm, how can I like question difficult question? टेस्ट केसेस दो ही हैं एंड 6 है और एंड 10 है. ये सैम्पल टेस्ट है ना. Like n is equal to 10 raised to the power 5 and k is equal to 1.9 into 10 raised to the power 5. पहले टेस्ट केस का तो इनपुट का आंसर है, दूसरी का निकालना है. एक्सपेक्टेड टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी v का ओपन हो जाएगा because like n is still 1, right? Hmm, Q 5 or less than 5 plus 1. Summation I equal to n minus 1 greater than IQ. So I have 5 plus 1. Pi less than Pi plus 1 तो represent करते हैं 1 is true and 1 is false, right? And Qi is greater than Qi plus 1. जो कह रहा है, right? And like, what is Q? Right? That if like Q is inverse of P, and what does that mean? Like Q of P is equal to, right? जो Q of Pi है is equal to I है, right? टेस्ट केसेस से तो टेस्ट केस तो 6 दिया हुआ है और K भी 6 है, and the output this case, 1 second, the output is 245136. Right यार, इसका करना क्या? पी आई है, क्यू आई है, इतना समझ आ गया. उसका यार क्यू तो इनवर्स ऑफ पी है, राइट? और पी पी एन 6 है और के 6 है, so let us assume P is like 245136, and also Q have 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So we know that Q of Pi is equal to I, और जो Q of Pi is equal to 1 and Pi is 2, so Q of 2 is equals to 1, or then Q is equals to 2 and P2 is 4, so Q of 4 is equals to 2, और जो Q of P3 is equals to 3, then we do like Q is which is 5, right? So Q of 5 is equals to, then Q of 4 is equals to 4, and Q of 4 is equals to 4, and so Q of 1 is equals to 4, which is Q of 5 P5 is equals to 5, so Q of P5 which is 3, and Q of 3 is equals to 3. Sorry guys, if you have any confusion, right? I'm sorry, like Q of 3 is equals to 5, and then Q of P6 equals to 6, and Q of P6 and P6 is 6, and Q of 6 is equals to 6. So ऐसे हमें एरे मिल जाएगा, राइट? और दूसरा तरीका है कि like we can look at this like indexes of 1 in P1 like 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then we are doing it like writing 4 at the first index and 1 at the second index, right? And then we 5 at the third index, and then we write fourth and second index and the fifth index, and then sixth is sixth at the sixth index, right? So like ये वन है जो सेकंड इंडेक्स में, टू है फोर्थ इंडेक्स में, फाइव है थर्ड इंडेक्स में, इसकी तरह होता जाएगा. सो पी आई है जो इक्वल्स टू आई है, एंड देन विल like value of f of p of array का. So since 2 is less than 4, so we will get 1 point, and 4 is less than 5, so we get another point, and 1 is get a point, 6 will be, so 1 2 3 4 points from the summation, and then another point here, point here, right? And that's it. So the point from this summation for two, so overall like f of b is equals to 6, and since it is greater than equal to, right? So then we got the answer. And if we see the test cases, right, like जो एफ ऑफ पी है जो समीशन में आई इज इक्वल्स टू 1 till n minus 1, right? So पी आई जो है वो लेस देन है पी आई प्लस 1, राइट? of summation like I is equal to 1 till n minus 1, right? And qi जो greater than है qi plus 1 से, right? हमें पॉइंट मिला if pi less than a pi plus 1, right? So let's like basically ith index, this was like I plus 1 index, and the value of pi, and we add the value of pi of 1. If pi is less than pi plus 1, so we get a point, 1 point, right? और जो दूसरा कंडीशन है क्यू आई का जो अगर ग्रेटर देन है क्यू आई प्लस 1 से, सो आई लाइक दिस इज लाइक वाई प्लस 1 आई प्लस 1, राइट? तो हमें एक और पॉइंट मिल जाएगा. सो वी हैव टू लाइक एनालाइज और लाइक विजुअलाइज, राइट? क्यू आई डिवाइड बाय 1 greater than qi plus 1 divided by I plus 1. So definition says like q pj is equal to j. So q of I is equals to k, right? जो P of J is equals to I and K is equals to J. Um, mm, and the like P of J is equals to I है और Ki equal to J है, right? So after this two equation, if P of K is equals to I, since like K is equals to J, so we can say like P of K is equals to I, right? जो जो K है, K like index of I, right? In P, and K is the index of I in P, right? And then we say like this is like if you are like talking about 5, then K will be there because like 3 is the index of 5, so K is the index of J, right? So अगर K है index of I in P, so basically like Qi is equals to K, and K is the index of I, right? And we can write also अगर Qi है greater than Qi plus 1, right? So हम ऐसे बोल सकते हैं like कि Qi as K and K is the index of I in P, so हम इस स्टेटमेंट को ऐसे लिखते हैं like the index of I in P is greater than index of I plus 1 in P. अगर if like this is true, right? So we get some points. It's like what we understand like जो ये कंडीशन दे रखी थी मैंने, right? दो है कि P of I is less than of P of I is less than P of I plus 1, और दूसरी कंडीशन थी index of I in P is greater than index of I plus 1 in P. So this is also give us one point, right? And then you say I comes after I plus 1 in P, right? अब जो index of I है in P greater than the index of I plus 1 P, right? So the I plus 1 comes here in the permutation, then I will come after only the index of I will be greater than the index of I plus 1, right? So we can write also like I plus 1 in P और पी आई है जो लेस देन है पी आई प्लस 1, राइट? सो 1 पॉइंट मिल जाएगा और आफ्टर लाइक आई प्लस 1 इन पी. Very confused guy. Hmm. 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 Mm. Like, let's say like 2 comes before 1, so we will have the pair. Let's say 3 comes before, we will have a point. Let's say that 4 comes with 4 3, so we will have point because the pair, because of these conditions. If we write array like 4 3 2 1, so we will not get any point because of this condition. Pi is equals less than pi plus 1, and this is almost 2 into n, right? So after that, one second guys, my, right, after that, what can we do? So we like, this is almost 2 to n, and we need to get any point on almost each index, right? We can not actually do like, if we do need 2 points from q, also right, also like we use only point from the equation because we can get the maximum n minus and 1 points only, so we will actually have to use the equation well, right? And 3 4 2, and how like, yeah, I guess. I think guys I couldn't solve this question, right? So I ended the live stream, right? After after some days, no, tomorrow you will do a live stream, right? Okay, guys.